South Bend Mayor James Mueller joins us today. We appreciate your time. Thanks for coming by.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. One of the issues I wanted to talk to you about is a meeting that was supposed to happen tonight and it's not going to happen. It's the Community Police Review Board. It was supposed to meet and discuss and maybe make a final recommendation when it comes to the issue of that 14-year-old girl in the body camera. We're not going to relitigate that question. The question I have for you is what's going on with this board? Why can't we meet and come to a final resolution on this?
Well, these boards, like other city boards and commissions, are volunteers from the community that have been appointed. This board is appointed by the Common Council, so each council member gets an appointee. And then they also, as part of the ordinance that was passed a few years ago, have to go through a level of training and information so they're able to make the best decisions for our community. And so that's one of the reasons. This month, for example, is a holiday month, and so people have lives, and perhaps as a volunteer capacity aren't able to fully say,
but the board knew this.
That.
When they looked at the schedule, the board knew that this Christmas comes same time every year.
Right, yeah, I think for next year they're going to look at perhaps not having a meeting in December, for example, but that's,
let me ask you this question. Some people are suggesting the board should be dismantled. There are others who are saying, because essentially it's a symbolism over substance issue, the board really doesn't have any legal authority to take any action other than making a recommendation. And in this case, the police department's already made its determination that the officer acted appropriately. There's a community group that today is going to come out with a news conference, former council member Henry Davis Jr., and he's going to place the onus on the city. He's going to place the blame on the city for not coming up to a resolution on this. Is the city partially at fault here? What do you think about that thought?
Well, I think the legislation was flawed when it was passed, and there needs to be some adjustments to the legislation. The other piece that's changed since this passed, this is an all-council appointed board. There was a lot of back and forth on the office itself, but we won't go back into that. And so the idea was the mayor appointed all the Board of Public Safety, the mayor appoints the police chief, so there wanted to be some other body to be able to accept community complaints or concerns about the police department. And so that's why the reason why this board was formed was because of those reasons. Since then, the state has changed from discipline and hiring and firing of officers to a merit board. Now the merit board is 2 mayor appointees, a common council appointee, and 2 members appointed by the FOP. Now that we have this new structure where the mayor is not necessarily in control of the board, I think it's absolutely potentially a time that we could revisit this and come up with something that makes more sense for us.
So do you think that something could be the elimination of this board as it stands?
This is, like I said, this was a common council priority because they wanted to have more checks and balances, and so that's something that I'll defer to the common council to see how best to get this in a better spot.
Okay, wanted to ask you real quickly about some of the speculation about this data center. You're on record as supporting the idea of data centers at the very least. This data center near the ethanol plant, about 300 acres or so. There's been talk about speculation, but the people who live in that area say this is well beyond speculation. There's something happening here. What's going on? They're saying there's secrecy. Is there secrecy surrounding this?
Well, the city, we don't have any details more than what's out there in the media. So,
So you've had no contact from any group, any developer, any data center company looking to set up shop in South Bend?
I think there's been a high-level conversation, but no details, certainly not a site plan or what exactly is going in there. And, we hope that, this is something that we hope comes forward. We need to be able to find a way to, yes, as a community, to the fastest growing sector of our economy. And so we hope that this does come to fruition. But as of now, that's why we're calling it speculative, because there are no details that we're aware of.
How high of a level is that discussion? You said some high-level talks. How high of a level? Have you been involved in any talks?
I haven't been involved in these talks, but reached out to our economic development team through an intermediary. And so that's a very high level of what are the options?
So at least there is something there. If I'm reading you correctly, there is something is happening. It's not, they're not making this up out of thin air.
We hope so. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We hope this becomes real. But right now, if in a few years it doesn't come to pass, I would just say this is very early stages at this point.
But your message, the city of South Bend, is open and welcoming to at least the idea of hosting data centers.
The idea, and we can find a way to bring people together. I mean, there's been a false choice here. There's a way to get the community on board and make this a win-win for the whole community.
All right. Thanks for watching. Here's another story you may like. And subscribe to the WSBT 22 YouTube channel.